Another thing is deciding what kind of hunt you want to go and do in terms of, is it a do-it-yourself hunt? Do you want to get a drop camp, or do you want to get like a fully guided hunt? And that's kind of Western terminology. In terms of whitetail, it kind of relates to if you're going to hunt a farm, you can find some farms that are, you show, here's our property, you pay this much per day to be on our property, go hunt it. Or there's some out there that are, guys running cameras 24/7. They're setting stands up. They got everything manicured. They're dropping you off at the stand, doing everything for you. And as you can imagine, the amount of money you pay is going to kind of dictate which one of those you're going to get. Personally, I like to do DIY stuff as much as I can. I just think the harder you work, the better the reward. And I'm not made of money, and I'm not trying to sink a lot of money into. I mean, it's expensive enough just doing DIY when it comes to tags and gear and everything else. So to add on, outfitter fees and stuff like that, it just kind of gets a little bit excessive. I know when I was looking, if you want to get a guide, you might as well calculate about $5,000. You might be able to find some drop camps, 2,000, 2,500 range would be pretty cheap. You can find ones cheaper, but you're going to get what you pay for. And honestly, sometimes even when you pay a bunch, you're not going to, just because you pay a lot of money, it doesn't mean you're going to have a great success rate, So when you're looking at these guides and these properties and stuff like that, I think that you don't just want to Google guides in this area and pick one. You definitely want to do your due diligence in terms of researching them, looking for reviews. And personally, I think firsthand reviews, or personally knowing people that have used that outfitter or that guide or whatever, I think those reviews hold the most weight. At least they do in my book. Maybe jump into scouting a little bit, which kind of goes into the research as well. And when I talk about scouting, I'm not just talking about going out and trying to get boots on the ground. A lot of times when you're traveling out of state, that isn't even a possibility. Of course, if you can do that, nothing is ever going to replace putting boots on the ground and getting out there. But there's a lot of other methods that you can use to learn the area, to learn the kind of, what's going on in that area and the terrain and everything like that. Of course, onX and Hunt Stand or whatever you want to use. Personally, I love onX in combination with Google Maps. And I mean, now onX has a 3D map as well, which is pretty nice. Definitely utilize that stuff in terms of kind of picking an area and understanding the terrain and things like that. But also, I think when I first was going elk hunting, I got the most information by calling the state agencies. They don't, some of them are hunters, but they don't really have a reason to withhold information from you. So if you call the DNRs or the Parks and Rec people and talk to them, they give up a lot of information. And, not just the state agencies, but the federal agencies. If you're going to a national forest, call the Forest Service. I mean, these are people that are in and out of this property day in and day out. They know it better than anyone. And if they're not a hunter, they probably are more apt to give you more information too, but they don't really care. So definitely don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call people, especially the state agencies. A lot of states out west have, they kind of promote the hunting, the tourism, and they'll have some call centers that are just there to help you plan your hunts. I know Colorado specifically I can't remember. You can find it through the Colorado Parks and Rec website, but they have like a subset of their agency, and all they do is help people plan their hunts. And you can call them and ask them anything. They'll give you a list of outfitters in the area. Even if you're doing DIY, you can call them up and say, hey, where are the outfitters in this area? They'll tell you exactly where they're at. It's all public information. The outfitters have to at least in Colorado, they have to get permits and stuff to be on the land, and it's public to where the area is that they're permitted to guide in. So definitely take advantage of the state and federal agencies and the information that they'll give out free by just picking up the phone and calling. Forums are always great as well. In addition to that, I'm not a big forum guy, but I did read up, I would basically just Google, hunting in this unit or whatever, and just kind of find my way through Google searches and stuff into different forums on different topics to just build as much information as I could essentially around the area after I picked an area or a couple areas, trying to